you way too dope, kid.
You are now listening to the Internal Affairz podcast.
Welcome back. This is the Internal Affairz podcast. As y'all can see in the title, we talking about the war on greatness. Cause it is a war on greatness, you know what I'm saying? When you out here striving, when you out here breaking through your boundaries, your own self-limitations, the limitations that's placed on you by society, your family, your community, all of that, you become a target. Like real shit, like your own people would just throw stones at you while you on your way up, while you trying to figure things out. Your own people will intentionally be non-supportive. And what really brought me to this particular subject was just watching how, watching like how LeBron James get criticized, for example. Watching him overachieve, just not as a basketball player, just as a man, and even further as a black man, right? Watching how, and it's not just for LeBron, but like I'm just using him because he's a celebrity and he's great. And he's compared to the greats. Like the conversation every day is between who's better out of him and Michael Jordan and all of that. If you ask me, if I'm being compared to my superior, somebody that I looked up to, somebody that inspired me to play the game, if I'm in the same conversation with them, my work is done. I could care less if I'm considered really better than them or not, right? But people have become so insensitive, so numb in this society and this culture, and it's getting real whack. Like, yo, when did being great become whack? When did striving to thrive and not just survive, when did that become something to throw stones at? And the people that be throwing the stones and the people that be making all the comments and shit like that, those be the people that stay right in their comfort zone. They stay right in their house behind their computer. They stay right in that same hood, right in that same area where they grew up at and things of that nature, and never try to go outside that box. Yet they point the finger at and point out every little thing that's wrong with the people that's actually getting out here in the field and doing it. And I notice that's a subconscious thing. That's a war that they battling within themselves. Because none of us are exempt from this shit. Nobody is exempt from waking up every day and wondering, why the fuck am I here? Nobody exempt from it. Nobody exempt from having that urge pulling at you to like fulfill your purpose. Everybody get that call. Everybody get them questions like, oh shit, who am I? Like, why am I here? Like I said. So when you see a person go out and do it, not only do it, it's one thing to make it to college. It's one thing to make it to the NBA. It's another thing to go there and be in the championship 10 times, win it 4 times, be the MVP, break records, be considered as one of the top 3 greatest players of all time. So why is it that the headline and the subject that's on the marquee every day on ESPN, why is it always being a comparison? Why is it always being critical? Why are we not celebrating this? That's a real question. Like, because if we're not celebrating winning, if we're not celebrating thriving, striving, being great, maximizing your time and your potential, then what are we doing on this planet? This is like the realest question, because this is a question I really had to ask myself when you get lost in life and you think life might be about one thing. Some of us just can't fit in. Some of us just can't be ordinary. Some of us just can't take what's given to us. We can't just choose from 4 options. I'm gonna be a police officer or a doctor or a lawyer, or I'm gonna just pick from the multiple choice question that's in front of me. Some of us can't do that. Everybody not wired that way. I know I'm not. I done had 9-to-5 jobs. I done went to plenty of schools, college, and all of this. And hey, was it fulfilling? No, it was a cool experience. It was different, but it wasn't fulfilling. Because some of us, like, we have a strong urge to break through the threshold of the limitations and the boundaries that were set upon us by society, our family, our community, our shit. Just looking at some of the people in your family, you might be looking at them like, shit, this is all I got to look up to? Because I know I come from a big family. I got a lot of men in my family. I got a lot of women in my family. And me just being young, looking at the men, I knew early on, I said, nah, if that's the ceiling, if that's the highest of the high, what they doing, basically get a job, work that job for 30, 40 years, get a pension, and retire, and, you know, maybe live out. Maybe you got 15, 20 more years in your life you could live out and turn gray. And you're considered grown, and you're paying your bills, and you get to, you know, take care of your kids or whatever, your so-called responsibilities. But I was like, even when I was 6, I was looking at the responsibilities and being grown. I'm like, this shit look more like a cage. This shit look more like obligations that who would want these? Like, I know we gotta survive. We're not talking about surviving. We're talking about enjoying your life. You know, constantly getting, you know, overcoming, getting through shit, and having a celebratory moments after moments. Like, you know what I'm saying? Building, leaving behind some type of legacy. Going a little further, going a little extra mile. Like, I had to ask myself, like, yo, am I the only one that feel like I'm here to do something specific? Am I the only one that feel like I can't settle? And I still be asking myself these questions every day, because I still have people that's close to me. I still have people that I know that are clearly like settling. And it'd be like when I said, when I was 6, it's like 5. I say like I was like 5 or 6. I noticed, like, okay, you got a job, you got a car, you're married and all of this, but if you happy about it, just be happy about it. It seemed like they would be trying to advertise it and make it more than what it was. I'm looking at you like, damn, you came home from doing 12 hours of work, and all I hear your conversation is like, I hate going to that place. I don't like that shit. My fucking manager be on my back and shit like that. And I'm like, and then this is what you telling me to do? You telling me to go to school, get my education, do this and do that just so I could get wore out? Me personally, I feel like that's the coward way out. You would really have to ignore and numb yourself to a high degree to ignore the call of, like, I like to call it the call of your soul. That thing that's pulling you off the path that's made for you and pulling you towards a path that you have to pay for yourself. That's not guaranteed. A path that, you know, you're going to be confused on. It don't have no direction. The only direction you got is getting in tune with yourself, getting in tune with your intuition, and doing what feel right regardless of what benefits you reap from it or what it look like to other people. Feel what I'm saying? So when I see a person like, I'm just going to use LeBron James because he the most, like I said, ridiculed, he the most criticized, one of the most successful people on the planet. And he get criticized more than the president. That's crazy. So even looking in that is a whole nother conversation, because it's like, yo, how does a basketball player get more criticism than the United States president? A kid from the hood. When I see a person like him, I really see the struggle. I really see a person that had to figure shit out. When you walk in your path and you staying true to yourself, you come up against brick walls that have you questioning, like, yo, am I built for this? You make decisions and you make sacrifices that you can't go back on. And you wonder sometimes, like, yo, is it really fucking worth it? Shit, how you questioning yourself. That's the type of life I was striving to always live. I might have went off my path. I done got jobs. I done tried, like I said, I done tried the school thing. I done tried to fit in. I done tried it so hard. And it's harder to try to fit in than me to actually be true to myself. I done had many nights where I'm crying. I done had many nights and many days where I'm insecure and wondering, why am I doing this? What am I doing it for? And I always come back to the same answer, like, it feel right. I feel aligned, even on my worst day. I'd rather be doing that than to allow society, allow my family, allow a specific type of mentality to shape me into some type of robot that's only fit to go through a system. Because let's think about it, right? When you young, right? You 5 or 6, you start to get groomed, and the people that's grooming you, right? It's like it's funny. It's like I said, yo, they trying to make some shit sound fun, but you could clearly see they not having fun with it. So they start grooming you to believe certain things. Like, for instance, like even little shit like, yo, you know how, like for like things that go right into another institution. This is a good example right here, right? When I was little and I remember believing in Santa Claus, right? You know, they used to tell you, Santa, you ain't gonna get nothing for Christmas. Santa Claus know if you naughty, he know if you nice. And it's like, okay, when you nice, you get rewarded. And when you so-called naughty or bad, you get deprived. You don't get nothing, right? That's cool, right? So then as you get a little bit older, they start grooming you for like religion and shit. And they be telling you like, yo, God know if you're doing good and God knowing if you're doing bad. But you ain't even seeing that how interconnected that is with the whole Santa Claus thing, with the whole Easter Bunny and Tooth Fairy type thing. You don't see that. But it's all grooming you for this whole duality thing where it's about good and evil and light and dark and right and wrong. And it puts you in a place where you always feel like you can't do, you know what I'm saying? You're not enough. You can't do enough. Something's watching you and something got dominion over your life. And anybody, y'all cool to believe in whatever religion, whatever you want to believe in. That's cool. I'm not saying that. I'm just pointing out the plot twist in this shit. Okay, and at some point you go to school. You start school early, you know what I'm saying, while you're young. And school ain't nothing but really training. I don't care what institution you go to. I don't care from kindergarten on up. It's putting you through a system to get ready to go through another system. And it's little subtle things that happen within school that groom you to be like comparing us. You can constantly comparing yourself to somebody else. You sit next to the kids in school. There's always somebody in the front, just like at church. When you go to jail, it's so many things that correspond with the system that's cohesive and beneficial to the system. Okay, so you in school and you get A's, B's, C's, and D's. Now you're comparing your grades with the next person, so that separates you right there, right? Then it's just the way you even eat. You sit down, you eat for 30 minutes, you go outside, you play for 30 minutes. You're getting in a single file line in hallways. What is that like? That's like prison. It's the same thing. Like, just painting a picture and giving you an idea. I probably should have wrote notes down. I didn't even know I was going to go this far, this deep into it. But to sum it all up, I feel like it's manufacturing robots. And then it's the crazy part, like, the overall reward for going through all of these things is just to be able to say you're smart because you got a degree. But is that really what you wanted to do? Was that really your dream when you was a kid? Is that what you good at? Is that even what you know what I'm saying? Is that comfortable? How long you want to sit in front of a computer or sit in a classroom with strangers and have somebody stand in front of you and act like they know about life more than you? Teaching you about things that they ain't got nothing to do with the world you live in. I know people right now that's sitting on big degrees, PhDs, doctrines, all that, not even getting no money in that field. Watching the same field that they spent 12 years, 14, 15 years in to gain those accolades and those trophies, and how they hold on to them so tightly to the point they lose their identity within that degree. You can't even talk to them no more because I'm a doctor. I got a master's, I got a bachelor's. What are you talking about? But it's like, yo, you're not beneficial to nobody if you can't come down off your pedestal and kick it and teach some intangible shit or learn some intangible shit. To me, it's just like a separation game. But like I said, it benefits this system because it's all tied in. Like, how many years of school do you need to when you gonna learn about yourself? Like, I got kids now. I got a 10-year-old. I got a 2-year-old. I don't press my son about no grades. I'm not pressing him about that. I'm pressing him about his focus, and I'm on him about his effort. You tried your best, cool. You was able to focus and start the task and finish the task. That's all I need you to do. That's all you need yourself to do. So when you can take that, I can place you anywhere in the world, and as long as you can be able to do that, cool. Because once you make your mind up to do something you like, once you make your mind up to do something you're passionate about, as long as you're able to focus on it and put the effort in, can't nothing stop you. And that's the real war on greatness, because the wars start with being encapsulated in these little bottles and boxes and getting all these labels thrown onto us. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I guess it's nice to graduate. It's nice to have a job that pays a certain amount. But, yo, do you like it? Do it make you feel good? When you're 60, 70 years old and you turn back, was it all worth it? Did you change the world in any type of way? Did you stop and smell the roses? Or was you just waking up every day, constantly being pessimistic about your future, working towards it, only to find out like, man, this shit ain't even all that. But then you can't even admit that part because you done put so much time and attention and work in it, and you'll look and feel like a fool to say, man, this shit wasn't even worth it. And I'm somebody that did a lot of years of college, did a lot of school. I never was interested in the lesson at hand, really. I was always interested in like the interaction with people, the different cultures and stuff like that. Because I travel a lot too. I'll pick up a backpack and I'll go to a whole nother city, whole nother state or whatever across the globe on my own and just stretch my boundaries and just get used to that. And then once I'm done with that, I'm ready to go on to the next thing. I don't have to be contained by familiarity. That shit become a jail cell. But as I'm doing all these things, I'm realizing that it's making other people inferior, other people envious, other people uncomfortable, and get to a point where, you know, they get unsupportive, they get critical of you, and just start to really pick you apart and break you apart, because what it is this. It represents a polarity within themselves, from going from nothing to going to something. And we do this every day. You could think some shit up and then you can make it happen into reality. So you constantly going from nothing to something. It's cool when you're the underdog. It's cool when they think you don't make it. I'm going to make it. That's all cool. But you start to get happy within yourself. You started to be joyful about it. You start to reap some real benefits. And they fail to break through those insecurities, those doubts. They still care about what everybody think about them and shit like that. So that hold them in that same cage, in that same place. People start to not like you. But I just want to give a shout out to everybody that constantly get up every day, fight that war within yourself of the doubts, the limitations, the boundaries, the comparisons, the criticisms, the things that you've been conditioned to have within yourself. Because when you was a kid, when you was small, you ain't had no boundaries and no limitations. These things all got placed on you. You was taught to believe in them, taught to believe that it has some type of value. And then, you know what I mean, you start to buy into the nightmare. You start, you know, they call it the American dream and shit like that, but it's really a nightmare. It's really, it go from, oh shit, here, you do this, you get a piece of candy, to, oh, you do this, you get a car, a marriage, a relationship, a picket fence, and a dog or a cat. The American dream, wow. They then took it from being a Tootsie Pop all the way into being that, and then people get on social media and try to make that shit seem like it's fun, like it's fulfilling, like they fulfilled their sole purpose, and that's really not it. And in 2020, the world we heading in now, you're not going to be able to cover your scars up, cover your insecurities up, and your doubts and all the self-sabotaging and limitations you place upon yourself, and that been placed upon you. You're not going to be able to cover that up with no material shit. And it's already breaking down. So when I look at somebody like LeBron, I don't look at what he got. When I look at somebody like Floyd Mayweather, I don't look at what he got. I look at the fact that, yo, everybody has to walk through them same limitations, boundaries, insecurities, depressions, anxiety, expectations. You got to go through all of it. Nobody is exempt. I look at that and I take my hat off to them. Everything they earn after that, if they got lost into their material world, whatever, but so be it, they earned it. I'm not looking at that. When I see them, I see a human being that got feelings and emotions too. It started with the shitty end of the stick too. So don't get lost. Like, don't get lost in looking at people because they got to a certain level of success and think that they don't have to deal with the same emotions and things that you got to deal with on a daily basis. Like, don't let society make you that numb. And like I said, to be criticizing them, to be pointing out shit in them, you literally like you gotta check yourself at some point. Because when I see people, I'm always trying to like instill greatness in them. I'm trying to show them how great they are. I don't care what they do. I don't care if they spin tops. Be the greatest top spinner. If you do handstands, I'm like, yo, that's what you like to do. That's what lights your life up. Go ahead and do it, and make sure you have fun with it. Keep it close to you, and you do it with the right intentions. Forget the outcome, because it's like collectively we've been walked into like a very dark place, yo. A dark place where there's no love at, there's no support, there's no encouragement. It's crazy that people like. I don't care. Like I always say, I don't care what you going through. You can be the most depressed, anxiety-ridden person on the planet, right? It don't take a lot to, man, pat your friend on the back, pat your brother on the back, you know what I'm saying? Pat yourself on the back. It don't take a lot to do that. You could always show some type of support. But I see how people been played against each other so much that ain't nobody about to even tap the like button or nothing for you, or share anything you got going on, or ask you about it, or act like they're gonna act like they don't even see it because they love to see you doing well, or whatever the case may be, but just not better than them. And I feel like the world got to go back to a place where how it was when I was young. Like I said on the first podcast, like, and the reason why I even picked the specific cover art for the podcast of kids just playing and doing their own little thing. And wanting to be around each other because, oh wow, you can do this. You know, the originality of it, the creativity of it, not competition, not comparison, not, oh man, you on your way up. Oh man, it makes me look bad. Nah, it could never, like, how could you be in competition with somebody else and it's only one you? Real shit. I don't know, I didn't think I didn't harped on that enough. But like, yo, when greatness become a target, and sitting in a group and pointing fingers and being underachievers become like the funny, cool thing, long as you got a group of people to agree with you and be in your misery with you of not fulfilling your purpose. When that become cool, yo, we in a sick, ill, very ill world. And I feel like my only job is to point that shit out, voice my opinion about it, and keep it moving and make sure I'm not lame like that. Make sure if I'm out here looking stupid in your eyes, I'm out here doing it for my own reasons, because it make me feel good, because it's something I believe in, you know what I'm saying? So yo, be careful who you criticize, be careful who you tear apart, and that goes for yourself first, you know what I'm saying? Like, be gentle with yourself. I had to learn that the hard way, like, stop trying to treat myself like I'm a tool or something. Oh, you're supposed to be here. You're supposed to be doing this. You should have had this by now in your life. Nah, move at your own pace. And my best advice is like, be still for a minute. You know what I'm saying? So you can figure out who you are. Because when you really moving so fast, and that go with your thoughts too. That go from your thoughts and on down. When you moving fast, you can't get in tune with yourself. So be still, be gentle, and I'm gonna holler at y'all on the next one.
You are now listening to the Internal Affairs podcast.